He
Wow.
yodeled.
He was yodeling.
He was a yodeler. He popped out of the hole and yodeled and moon eye. He was a descendant of the moon eyes. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, Gen 2, episode 100.
100.
Man, that's like 3 digits now.
That is 3 digits.
It is like it because it is. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. So from now on, it's always triple digits. That's
Yep.
I can't believe we've made it this far.
That's pretty cool.
So we started this. Oh man, three NASCAR seasons ago in February 2022, me and Jamie started this podcast right when we got back from the 24 hours of Daytona.
Yeah.
And we kept it going, and around episode 89, Jamie decided he was going to take a break. At that point, John stepped up, joined on, and kept the show going, and we actually made it to 100. There was a moment I didn't think we were going to hit 100.
Yeah, there's been moments when I started where I didn't think we'd make it to 100.
Yeah, we had some sketchy moments in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
But we made it 100. I'm going to give a big, huge thank you to one of my all-time best friends, Jamie.
Yep.
I would not be here sitting on this couch with my son today if it wasn't for you. We talked about doing a podcast for like 2.5 years. Finally, we made the leap. We started this show. It has evolved a lot in 3 seasons. I mean, we went from doing hotel reviews to the dumbest Amazon product reviews you could think of. Like the products they put on Amazon, it's mind-blowing how stupid some of these products are. And then the things people are willing to say publicly is even crazier, especially in hotel reviews. I mean, John, we had a hotel review where we had a guy in a hole pop up out of a hole in the floor of a hotel in Bristol. He yodeled.
He was yodeling.
He was a yodeler. He popped out of the hole and yodeled and moon eye. He was a descendant of the moon eyes.
Oh gosh.
Which is a whole other conspiracy rabbit hole you can dive down if you want.
Did y'all ever go over that one?
Oh yeah. I think we talked about that one. We talked about the moon-eyed people. We talked about that review like 2 or 3 episodes. It was great. We had a guy in California jump out of a cabinet.
Oh.
So people were staying in a room, and a guy jumped out of a cabinet. And the cabinet, when they opened it, it led to his room. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't stay at that hotel again.
So we've got moon eyes in the south, and out west they've got
people jumping out of cabinets.
Just people in cabinets.
Yeah, that's how they do it out west. Out in the east, they jump out of the floor. In the west, they jump out of a cabinet.
Yeah, different cultures.
We had we did a review on the bumper dumper. It was a toilet seat welded on a bar that went in your trailer hitch, so you could use the bathroom when you go camping.
No,
called the bumper dumper.
Bumper dumper.
And that was an interesting. We did a review on a book by why you should teach your cat gun safety. So
was it educational?
For the cat, it would be. You shouldn't give your cat a gun without first teaching them gun safety. That's basic takeaway.
Oh.
So now that we know that, our cat. Well, I don't have a cat.
I say we probably will never have a cat again.
I don't trust cats. I trust dogs. Dogs are man's best friend.
Right.
Cats kill people.
I was going to say, what's a cat?
It's a lion, just smaller. Don't trust them. You just can't. But me and Jamie had a lot of fun doing the show. We've done a lot of crazy things. I just want to thank like Janet, Eric, Deb, Sydney,
Definitely Sydney.
Brandon, Holly, Stuart, Mom, Dad, all of my mom's Sunday school class, Chris, everybody who's listening to this show, my cousin Brandon, I greatly appreciate you listening. But just if I didn't say your name, I still love you. Thank you so much for listening. I mean, y'all are the reason we keep doing this every week. If nobody listened and nobody watched, obviously we wouldn't keep doing it. So thank you to everybody. Grandma in New York, I love you. Thanks for watching. It's like we really appreciate everybody who watches each week.
Yeah, we do.
I'm glad to have John here now. We'll keep going and see what this show turns into, right?
Yeah. And we want to thank Sydney for these cool shirts that we have here.
Episode 100.
Race car spelled backwards. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And
thank you, Sydney.
If you don't know, Designs by Sydney. It's a small graphic design business. Sydney does logos, T-shirts. See? T-shirts.
Yeah.
She does these minimalist stickers like these here. You got all your favorite race drivers. She'll do them for, I guess, Christopher Bell. He get 2 stickers this weekend. He won 2 races.
Yeah.
So she always does your favorite race driver. When they win, she'll do a sticker for them. But anything you need professionally or personally for graphic design needs, Sydney's got you covered. Make sure you check out Designs by Sydney. Currently, for the rest of this week at least, if you use the code CAR624 at checkout, you'll get free shipping. So Sydney supports this show. We support her. So, Sydney, we greatly appreciate you and everything that you've done for our show. And we'll see where this takes us. So, again, this episode 100. I'm still in shock.
It's very cool.
I wanted to do a cake, but I don't know. It felt more like a birthday celebration.
Yeah, it's not our birthday.
Well, I mean, it's 100 episodes, but I don't know that I'll make it to 100 years age. You might. But I probably won't. Sorry to break that to you. Sorry to tell you, son. I'm probably not going to live to 100.
Man, I was really counting on that.
Do you really want to live that long? Like, I guess if you're healthy.
Yeah. If you healthily live to 100, then I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah, but I don't want to be 100 and not know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Of course, then I guess it won't matter if I don't know anything.
So, does it really matter?
I guess it doesn't matter. So here's to living to 100. All right, let's jump into some racing. We actually have a lot of racing to talk about, and we need to jump into it. Yeah. Otherwise, episode 100 is going to be 100 minutes long instead of the normal 60.
Yeah. So let's do it.
All right, John Force. Let's start with John Force.
Wow.
Thoughts and prayers. We'll start there.
To him.
Definitely he.
His family.
If you don't know, go on social media, watch the video. John Force hit the wall at about 300 miles an hour after winning his qualifying race. He got loose, went up in flames, hit the wall. Very, very nasty looking crash.
Yeah.
As of recording of this show, he's still in ICU. He's doing good. He's alert. Doctors are just trying to figure out what the extent of his damage, his injuries, what's the extent of his injuries before they kind of put together a plan. John Force is 75 years old.
Yeah.
75 years old
insane.
And still winning in NHRA. That would never happen in NASCAR.
No.
Like 45, you're out. You're too old.
Yeah.
NHRA, 75. That might be the cutoff. I think that might be the end of John's career. That's just my speculation, but I don't know. He's taken a lot of hits in his lifetime in that car, and that one looked bad.
It was nasty crash.
So start to show off with that. Going to get that out of the way, but we are definitely praying for you, John. Hope you get better soon, buddy. Praying for the whole family.
Yeah.
Last week it was announced that Haas is actually not leaving NASCAR. Haas will now field one Cup team and 2 Xfinity teams. Cole Custer's father will be the president. So who would you think is going to drive that one Cup charter they're keeping, John?
Chase.
Chase? Just Chase?
Just Chase.
Just Chase.
I think maybe Cole Custer. I don't know. I'm
Chase Elliott, maybe.
It could be.
I'm thinking Christopher Bell.
No, I have a sneaking suspicion it might be Cole Custer.
Or maybe it's Noah and Rodney.
It could be.
Maybe Gene. I mean, Gene's got the money to pay them whatever they need to be paid to stay. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great move. I mean, if you think about it from a couple different fronts, Gene's selling 3 charters at $20 million each was speculation. Front row, they bought 1 charter already. That leaves 2 more. Well, now Gene's going to keep 1 charter.
Yeah.
What if he holds on to that 1 charter till the deal's done? Then the value of that charter increases when the deal's done. He can make more than $20 million off of it.
Yeah.
What it also does is that second charter he's selling, it kind of makes it a bidding war.
Yep.
So that's going to increase the value of that charter. So either way you look at this,
It was a good move.
business sense,
It was a great move.
like the dude didn't become a billionaire by not knowing what he's doing.
Exactly.
So,
That's on full display right now with these charters.
and I'm glad Gene's staying too.
Yeah.
I mean, Gene Haas has been in NASCAR. He's a single team owner or single car owner before Stuart Haas started. Tony came in, they grew the team. Now it's going back to just Gene. And I think Gene Haas made a comment that it's helpful for his business, Haas Automotive, when he can bring his partners in for a full weekend at the racetrack. It helps his business out to have this charter and to have the Xfinity team. So you have 2 Xfinity drivers. I mean, Riley Herbst and Cole Custer are currently the drivers, so we'll see. You never know how it's going to shake out, but I do tend to believe Cole Custer will be in a cup ride, whether it's front row or Haas.
Yeah.
He's going to be in one of them. All right, so on another front, playoff news. We already know Atlanta is running next summer. Well, now NASCAR has announced Watkins Glen and Homestead are being pulled out of the playoffs for 2025, and they're adding Gateway, New Hampshire, and Darlington goes back. Darlington came out for scheduling reasons. It had to come out, but now it's going back.
All right.
So now we have 10 playoff races. 5 of them are on short tracks.
That sounds like a disaster with this car.
So you got Bristol, and we'll know this year if Bristol was a mistake or if they fixed Bristol.
I'm really hoping it's fixed, but from the racing we saw last year, I don't think so.
Yeah. New Hampshire. If it don't rain at New Hampshire, that's going to suck.
Yep.
Gateway. If it don't rain at Gateway, that's going to suck.
Yep.
Martinsville. If it don't rain at Martinsville, that's going to suck. And Phoenix. I don't even think rain would help Phoenix. If it doesn't snow at Phoenix, it's not going to help.
Didn't you say something about Darlington?
Yeah, Darlington's in there.
Oh, yeah.
So Darlington's not a bad race, actually.
No, it's not.
But it's not a great race.
No.
So, I mean.
If they're pulling out tracks and, putting in new tracks, why don't we just go to Kansas? We know Kansas is great.
So, on intermediate tracks, you got 5 short tracks, super speedway, and a road course in there. That's 3 intermediates.
Yeah.
So,
let's take out one of these awful short tracks that these cars suck at, and let's go to Kansas.
We should run Kansas twice, Charlotte once, Atlanta once. I mean, let's go to Kentucky. We can dig up Chicagoland. I mean, we should be putting the car on the tracks that put on the best product or the best show.
Yeah. But let's go back to Iowa.
But this is what happens when you let the TV networks run your series.
Yeah.
I mean, Fox and NBC have more say-so in what goes on in NASCAR. This, from a fan's perspective, I don't know this to be fact, but from a fan's perspective, it would seem that Fox and NBC have more say-so than what the drivers, the teams, and the fans think when it comes to NASCAR.
Yeah, and I guess in a way, you kind of expect that to be the case since they've got money in it. So, of course, the money is going to talk over the fans and the drivers.
Yeah, but I pay money to go.
Yeah, not as much as a Fox
that's
fan.
true. But still, I mean,
it's annoying.
Fox and NBC are in the business of selling ad space, not running a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if the NFL made certain calls based on what their TV partners might think?
It would be ridiculous.
Like, you can't have refs not throwing flags because they're worried about what TV is going to think. Or, oh, no, guys, we need a TV commercial. Flag.
Yeah.
We've stopped the game, have a commercial. You don't get that in the NFL, but you do get that in NASCAR.
It is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, extremely frustrating. So, but I honestly think the TV partners are ruining this sport. I completely think that.
I mean, they're not the only ones.
Week 2 of NBC. I purposely did not make comments on NBC last week because I thought maybe it was week 1. You know, maybe they got the camera crew, the camera guys, the production team, the booth. They all had to work the kinks out.
Yeah, knock the rust off.
Well, that rust is still not knocked off.
It's so bad.
I hate to say this, but I honestly think Fox is better.
I have to agree, especially the Fox booth.
Yes.
The booth, I cannot stand the NBC booth right now.
And NBC is zooming out. They're showing us more of the track, but they're sticking 5 other views on the screen and making them so small
you can't see what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, either way, Fox and NBC are completely opposite when it comes to the camera angles and the camera shots. One of them is too close, you can't see anything. The other one's too far and too small, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
NBC wouldn't be that bad if they would just put a full screen. Give me the full screen. If you want to put Martin Truex's in-car camera or Joey Logano's spotter, I don't care. Like, how many restarts did we have to watch Coleman Presley stand on the roof and go, outside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, inside? Like, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. And maybe I wouldn't have minded it once, but 3 or 4 times, like,
it's ridiculous.
We got guys out here driving on a wet track right now, and you're showing Coleman Presley do a restart. Like, but then you got 17 other screens. Let me show you everybody's in-car camera at once.
Yeah.
And then I'll have the race up here in this tiny screen. Then I'm going to have all this crazy crap in the background to distract you. Like, I'm easily distracted. This is killing me.
Let us please just watch the race. Like, full screen on the race, show the racing. Like, is it that hard on a racing program to show racing? Apparently so.
And I don't know that Rick Allen, Jeff Burton, and Steve Letarte are even in the same room together, because Rick Allen starts a thought and has to finish. There could be a car flipping on fire, and he's still giving the command to start your engine or whatever he's doing. Like, I feel like Rick Allen, because he's getting demoted to the Xfinity Series later this year, is just like, whatever.
It's
what are y'all going to do to me? Fire me?
The amount of contradictions, wrong information that was spit out through the booth was just infuriating. And the comments that they were making, like Jeff Burton making comments about, oh no, the track is still way too wet for slick tires. When you have Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. I mean, Christopher Bell's leading the race on wet tires. He's faster than anyone else on the field in wet tires. And he's saying, oh, I think we're good. We can definitely run slicks now. And you're up here in the booth saying, no, it's way too wet for slicks. Like, let them make the call. Like, don't act like you know what's going on the track.
What killed me is, like, Jeff Burton hadn't been in a car in like 10, 15 years.
I know.
He don't have a clue what these next-gen cars feel like, what they're doing.
Or what they're capable of.
Yeah, and that's a problem. You don't have a driver in the booth who has a clue as to what these cars are doing.
He thinks he does.
You need to put him in a car, whether in just a test. Like, Dale Jr. got a brief, small, short test at, I think it was Bowman Gray. Him and Clint Boyer got in cars and got to knock the dust off of them before the next-gen car came out. They don't have a lot of clues, but they got some clue now.
Yeah.
Jeff Burton, he will literally say something, and before he finishes that same exact sentence, he's already taken the other side of whatever he said. If Jeff Burton comes on and says, hey, the sun's turning green right now, but if you notice, it's yellow. Like, what is it, green or yellow, Jeff? Is the track wet or slick? Like, it was horrible. And then poor Steve Letarte. Now, I'm a Dale Jr. diehard fan for life. Steve Letarte, Dale Jr.'s crew chief. some of the best radio chatter ever was between those two guys. As a Dale Jr. fan, I love Steve. I can't bash Steve. I know there's some people who don't care for him. That's okay. I don't like Joey. So, I mean, not everybody likes everybody in the sport.
Exactly. So, yeah. You win some, you lose some.
Even Steve was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit yesterday. And I think the problem is the booth has no idea what's going on. So Steve Letarte would say, all right, so no pitting here. We're going to have a quickie yellow. Nope, just kidding. We're going to have a longer yellow, but no tires. Nope, just kidding. We're going to let you take tires.
But
you can pick which tire. Nope, just kidding. Rain tires only.
I don't think that's Steve's fault, though. I
don't either.
NASCAR's fault.
But Steve's the only one talking.
So you just kind of naturally get upset at him.
Yeah. I mean, NASCAR made Steve look like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I took that yesterday. Or NASCAR maybe the booth made NASCAR look bad.
I think NASCAR and the booth both looked bad yesterday.
It was a joint effort.
It was combined.
They were working really hard together not to have that turn.
They were really trying to knock that good race pull down.
Well, what's crazy is the race started off horrible.
Boring.
Like
nothing.
Phoenix boring.
Yes.
And then I'm sitting here going, all right, here we are, Phoenix, Richmond, part 2. It's like a Martinsville.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it rains. And I leave. And then I come home. And then they restart the race on wet tires. And it's like, wow, it's a tale of two races. This is nothing the same as it was. I mean, it legit. We got I want to say 70, 80 laps of rain racing, but it was more like 45 to 50 laps total.
Yeah. Oh.
It was almost like the Xfinity race. I mean, they had like 7 cautions in the last 60 laps of the Xfinity race, to the point where it was almost embarrassing. Like, what is this, the Truck Series? The ARCA guys do better than this. Come on. All right, so New Hampshire. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Was New Hampshire a good race?
Nope. Well, okay. Before they put the wet tires on, no. The racing, like just the racing after the wet tires, I actually thought it was pretty decent. You had cars all over the track, everyone trying to find that good line. Christopher Bell obviously found it, and he was killing it. But thanks to NASCAR, it was not enjoyable to watch them run in the wet, because NASCAR didn't know what they wanted to do besides make it the worst viewing experience you could possibly imagine. So
it's infuriating.
It was. So overall, as a viewer and a enjoyer of watching NASCAR, I would say no, it was a bad race.
So I voted no on the poll. What do you think the masses had to say?
The masses. Okay, so I think
we're talking NASCAR fans here, so
I think the fact that they ran on wet tires is going to bump it up a couple points. Like, I think that's going to give it some credit, because I know a lot of people don't like races getting rained out. So them running on the wet tires will definitely bump it up. But like, I don't know. Because I really didn't enjoy that race very much at all. So I'm just gonna go with a 38%.
So I voted no, because what we had before the rain, about 220 laps of
boring.
Was horrible. Boring. I mean, unwatchable.
Yeah.
When you can clean the house and come back and nothing's changed, it's not a good race. Then the second race of the day, it's not even like it's like a completely different race. Like, we almost needed 2 polls with the Jeff Gluck poll.
Yeah.
Was the dry race at New Hampshire good? Was the wet race at New Hampshire good? That's the poll we needed this week.
That would have been a no and yes.
That would have been perfect for Jeff Gluck. But Jeff only gave us 1 poll, so I voted no. Because overall, I'm not going to give it a yes rating just because I like the ending of it. That's not a good race. That's a good ending poll.
Yeah.
So I voted no, but overall, 66% of you said yes.
Wow.
I did not think we would be out of the 40s, if I'm being honest. When I went to look, and it was at it was actually at 68% yes when I looked, and that dropped a little bit.
That's crazy.
But I guarantee you, a lot of people voted yes because of what they saw with the rain. I was reading the comments, and everybody's like, I was going to say no, but then I saw what NASCAR did with the wet weather tires, and the racing on the wet was so much more entertaining. So I voted yes. You voted yes for 80 laps, and really 50, because they ran the majority of that under caution.
I still don't know how you vote yes because of that. Like, yeah, the racing itself was better, but NASCAR with the officiating just made it so unbearable. And so I still don't know how you vote yes, but okay.
That's what I mean. This is legit a tale of two races, like 100%.
Oh, without a doubt. You have the dry, boring race and the overly officiated wet race.
So let's break it down. Let's start with the dry race. Before the rain came, the race was boring and uneventful, but we did have a few squirrels out there.
Yeah.
Daniel Hemmert, he squirreled it. He spun out. Kyle Busch, he spun out twice in the dry.
It's impressive.
He spun out twice in the dry, and nobody even had to touch him.
I know.
In the dry.
I'm sorry, Kyle, but you're really struggling here.
LaJoy went for a spin in the dry.
There's nothing new.
Brad Keselowski took out Truex Jr. in the dry.
Yeah.
I mean, no wonder Martin's retiring. He's like, I can't take this no more.
He did manage to pull it back to at the end.
Kyle Busch is going to end up retiring next if we don't. The guy don't get some good luck on his side. We had Joey Logano. Joey Logano looked like he purposely hated Chase Elliott. Like, if you're a Chase Elliott fan,
I would completely understand why you're mad.
You have every right. Like, the pool house has every right to throw darts at a Joey Logano picture today, because I don't think it was intentional by no means, do I? Not at that point in the race. But it's like, I could just imagine Chase Elliott at that moment. It's like, all right, get off me. Get off me. Get off. Why won't he get off me? And then he spins him out. It's like, Chase is probably, what did I do to this guy?
It was something to see. It was Joey being Joey. Joey doing Joey things.
I was laughing. Like, I thought it was hilarious because
we were both laughing.
I knew. And I went on Twitter, and I was right. Fans were going crazy. Like, I follow a lot of Chase Elliott fans and interact with them, and listening to how they were acting, they were just losing their mind. Like, I can't believe Joey Logano can get away. They were calling for suspensions.
That's insane.
Like, but that's the Chase Elliott fan base. It's just all or nothing. Die hard.
It was comical.
Well, Dale Jr. fan base would have probably showed up at Joey's house.
That is
with
true.
Pitchforks, burning his yard down. I mean, you're not safe if you did that to Dale Jr.
Oh, no.
What else happened to dry? Tyler Reddick. He stayed out on 700-lap tires, didn't pit, put himself in position, and any other track, he would have won this race.
Oh, but I want to talk about Denny. Denny was doing everything he could to keep Tyler in that number one spot.
Denny was Dale Sr. in it.
He was. I even said that. I was like, Denny's looking like Dale Sr. out there.
I haven't seen a team owner block like that for his driver since Dale Sr. did it for Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip at Daytona the year he died. But Denny was doing it. Like,
he was.
He almost wrecked Kyle Larson.
I know.
To help out Tyler Reddick. To keep Tyler in position to win the race. Now,
it was awesome. If that's how the rest of that race would have went, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah. I have no problem with Denny doing that.
Me neither.
I mean, Denny said, oops. And even Larson didn't even get mad. Larson doesn't – it take a lot to make Kyle Larson mad. The guy is, like, so mellow. It makes you just want to hang out with him. Like,
I think it's because Larson understands, though.
He's a racer.
Yeah, like he
absolutely
gets it. He's like, well, if I was Denny, I'd probably do the same thing he did to me. So I think that's why he's so chill about it.
Yeah, I think with Denny also, if Kyle gets into Denny like that, as long as he don't put him in the wall, Denny's not going to flip out on him.
Right.
Like I think they're buddies off the track, if I'm not mistaken. But still, I think you're spot on, 100%. I think the reason that Kyle doesn't get mad is Kyle is a racer. He races everything.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson is probably currently the best active race car driver in motorsports, period.
Yeah.
Any kind, in the world. I think you could put Kyle Larson in Max Verstappen's car, and I think he'd win.
You think he could win?
I think he could run competitively. But, I mean, Monaco, if you were leading, you won. So not a lot different than that.
He just have to qualify good. But I don't.
How's that any different than Phoenix?
That's true. But I don't think Larson could hang with the top in F1. F1 is completely different. Like those guys know those tracks with their eyes closed.
Yeah, but if Larson knew he was going to race in an F1 event, he would have to learn the track. I think he could.
I think he could be competitive. I don't think he's competing at the top though.
When they don't get this charter deal worked out, I want to put Larson in a car in F1 next season and see what he could do.
I think give him like a year, maybe 2 in F1, and he could be somewhere at the top. But I don't think he could come right out the gate and just be crushing it.
I don't know. Maybe not out the gate, but we saw him jump in late model stocks. Never done that before on dirt. He won that first race.
Yeah, but he's done sprint cars. He's done NASCAR. I just think F1's a little too different from what he's used to.
I don't know.
I'm not discrediting Larson at all. I think
I know. I'm just disagreeing with you.
Being competitive and being great in F1 in like a year after doing all the other kind of racing he's in would be insane. It would be an insane achievement for Larson.
But if anybody could do it,
I think Larson could do it. But I don't think he's gonna, run, do what he did at Indy 500. I don't think he's gonna be good right out the get-go. I think it would take him a minute.
I agree. A minute. But by the end of the race,
I don't no, I don't think so.
I don't know. All right, Kyle, we need you to go run an F1 race so you can
see who's right.
We got to see who's right here. I know I'm right. He thinks he's right.
No, I'm right.
All you people out there who think you're right are getting kind of annoying to people like me who know we're right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I stole that from great grandpapa Jim. He used that in a sermon, I believe. All right, so Tyler Reddick's out in the lead. Denny Hamlin's blocking, and then the rain comes.
Yep.
Well, it kind of came.
A little bit.
And it kind of came a little bit for just a minute, and then finally it started raining.
Yeah.
Which that was weird. Like, we got a rain delay, and it's like a drizzle. Not even a drizzle. Like, the drivers are doing interviews on pit road with no umbrella. Yeah. Now, I know there was lightning in the area at some point, but once the lightning came, they cleared pit road. And then the rain came.
Yeah.
Now, I think NASCAR just threw the caution to be safe. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to wait it out and see what happens. Then the rain really came. And then NASCAR made the call. I did not think I would. When we got back, me and John we had left and we came back. Yep. We got back to the house. I was fast forwarding it through the rain delay because I'm like, there's no way we go back green.
I know. I thought they were calling it.
Well, they went back green.
Yep.
I'm good with this call.
I am too. I'm glad they did. I think they should have.
So we're going to talk about what happened under green, but let's talk about NASCAR's officiating of the green on the wet tires. So NASCAR mandated that all teams went to wet weather tires. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
I think
there's no way you were going to put on slicks and come back out.
I think even if they didn't mandate it, they'd all be on wets anyway.
But I think that's it. I think at that point, NASCAR should be out of the tire game.
Yeah.
You have the smartest guys in the industry sitting on top of 38 pit boxes. Even the guys at the lowest of low teams are smarter than NASCAR race control. I'm willing to bet. But those guys, let those guys make the decision of when to change the tires. It was a complete, utter crap show with the tire situation.
I mean, it looked like the circus out there.
Bad. You got drivers saying these tires are falling apart. We need new ones. NASCAR saying no. Then they're saying yes. Then they're saying we don't know. You got
keep driving circles.
You got and then we're gonna run. We have one wreck, no debris. We're gonna run 15 laps under caution. Like obviously they're burning laps here. We know what they're doing. But if I had to hear the booth or NASCAR say one more time, we don't know what's going to happen here, I was going to lose it. Look, we ran Wilkesboro. That's an oval track.
Yeah.
Wet weather tires. Richmond. That's an oval track.
With wet weather tires.
We ran Martinsville in the truck series. That's an oval. Wet weather tires. You've got the data here. You don't want to have competitive pit stops. I'm actually okay with that. I think if it's for the safety of the crews,
then that's okay.
Then I'm okay with that.
Hard to complain with that.
Yeah. but let the teams decide on what tires they use. That would have been so crazy to see teams out there on slicks. Even if they hit the wall,
Okay.
they hit the wall. It's on them.
Yeah.
They chose to make the change. Let the teams pick, because what NASCAR, the dictatorship that NASCAR ran yesterday was horrible.
It was atrocious, unbearable to watch.
I mean, the racing was phenomenal on wet weather, but it was hard to enjoy it because of the spectacle that NASCAR was ruining.
Yes. I mean, and like you said, if the booth said one more time, well, we don't want to, or I think at some point they said, well, I think this is a good opportunity for NASCAR to learn something. It's like, we've already done this before, guys. Like, let's take off the training wheels, NASCAR, and let these guys race. Let these guys make some strategy and stop holding their hand, because they don't need it, especially from you, NASCAR.
F1 does that.
Exactly.
F1 might tell them you got to change tires now to the wet weather tires, but then they let them decide.
Yeah.
If they mess up and decide too early, it's on the team.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt NASCAR if they let's say Kyle Larson goes to slick tires and loses control, spins out, hit the wall. No one's blaming NASCAR.
We're going to have a caution anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take speed to make a caution. Kyle Busch proved that when he came out under caution while they're still trying to get in line to go green.
Yeah.
They're not even lined up to choose yet.
He spins out.
And he didn't just spin out. He hit the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended his day. He ended the day by hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And then Corey LaJoie, he spun out under caution.
He didn't want to feel left out.
He's like, wait a minute, that's 3 for Kyle, and I've only got 2 spins today. Ooh, here we go. I mean, poor Corey LaJoie's got the work. Corey LaJoie, Kyle Busch, and Austin Dillon have the worst luck in NASCAR history. I truly believe that.
That is a fact.
Corey LaJoie, great guy. Super nice guy. Met him. Actually got to stand on pit road with him during the national anthem at Charlotte. I mean, super nice guy. I know a lot of his fans listen to this show, and anything negative I say about him, I've already apologized to Janet. I sent her a text and said, hey, I might be a little critical of Corey LaJoie on the show today. So for that, I am sorry. But I think Corey LaJoie, he's got one more year under contract at Spire. I don't think the pressure of Hocevar's getting to him, maybe knowing McDowell's coming in next season, he's had bad luck this season.
Yeah.
He knows he needs to perform next season just to get another year extension with him. I don't know if he gets that extension.
We'll have to see.
I honestly think Corey LaJoie will make a great replacement for Justin Allgaier in the number 7 when he retires from Junior Motorsports. When you had Elliott Sadler in the number 1 car, he was like the veteran at Junior Motorsports. Then he left, and you had Regan Smith come in. Regan became the veteran at Junior Motorsports. Well, when Regan left, Justin Allgaier came in.
Yeah.
Justin Allgaier became the glue that held that team together. When Justin leaves, you can't just have kids there only. You're going to have a veteran with well, I guess you don't have to, but it's always worked for Junior Motorsports to have that driver who's the glue. Corey LaJoie is perfect for that.
Yeah.
If Dell's not already having this conversation with Corey, then he's crazy. Dell and Kelly know what's up. Call Corey. He's a Chevy guy.
I mean, yeah.
Great personality.
I could see that. That would be cool.
And I think even Corey's fans would agree with that. So, but no, we run Saturday. We started Saturday's race on wet weather tires. So NASCAR knows what's up with these tires. They're just scared to do anything. I don't know what they're scared of.
Me neither.
But they're scared.
I can't figure it out in my head why they just don't finally take the training wheels off the teams and let them race. Because the race would have been so much better. It would have been the tale of the bad race and the good race if NASCAR would have said, all right, we're going to wet weather. Take it from here.
Fact. 100% fact. I mean, it's still.
Oh, and when they open pit lane for fuel only, who's doing that?
Here's another thing that frustrated me. When we changed to wet weather tires, why did we let the teams top off with fuel?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's it. That takes everything.
Strategy out the window.
But that's like you were saying, NASCAR was just scared of whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what they're scared of. NASCAR is scared to give control to the teams. That's what it is. They want to have full control. And they do. They have, other than the networks having full control of 90% of what they do.
Yeah,
the 10% of what they screw up, they're in control of that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about it though. So we do go to the rain tires. We already talked about Kyle.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Kyle. Really, I do
too. I know I've kind of grown up watching Kyle Busch just win races and win and keep winning, and it always annoyed me because I was a Junior fan. But now that he's fallen, it's kind of sad.
It is. I want to see Kyle do. I mean, Kyle leaves Gibbs because Gibbs ain't got nothing for him.
Right.
He goes to RCR. He comes out of the gate and wins 2 or 3 races with RCR last season.
It was cool. It was all right,
this is awesome. We're excited. This is going to be a great season.
Yeah.
Then we got to Gateway last year, and it's been very much hit or miss, more miss than hit since Gateway in the last 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, Kyle can't catch a break.
Nope.
I mean, legit. Yesterday, wrecked undercar in more, scrubbing in his tires, checking the track out, overchecks it, hits the wall.
Yep.
He wrecked at Indy during a tire test a few weeks ago.
Man.
The dude can't catch a break.
Gets spun by Chastain.
He's got the black cloud of NASCAR. Elton Sawyer following him around pow, pow, down with you. I don't know what he's done to make somebody.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, he's made the NASCAR gods really mad because they're taking it out on him every week.
Yep.
There comes Kyle again. Pow! In the wall.
I feel bad for him. And
you can tell. You can hear it in his interviews. He sounds defeated, deflated, ready to give up.
It's hard to bounce back from that.
Then, they're asking him in the media center, they're like, would you go back to Hendricks or Gibbs if they'd have you back? And he's like, of course I would.
It's
absolutely.
Please, I want to go back.
Him and Ricky get into a fight, and he's screaming at Ricky, what's wrong with you? I suck too.
Yeah.
We both suck, man. Why are we fighting?
He knows. He knows.
I want to see Kyle do well at RCR. I think the only way to do that is for Bad Luck Dylan to get out of the car.
And that's not happening.
Austin needs to go manage RCR look, Richard's getting old.
Yeah.
While he's still got most of his faculties going on upstairs and things are still clicking, it might be a good idea to get young Dylan in there.
And teach him.
Make him the runner. Let him run the team.
Yeah. Yeah, teach him.
Teach him. Make sure he knows how to run the team like you want it ran.
That way.
You can groom him. You can coach him. I think it's a good move to do it that way versus when he dies, then Austin steps out of the car.
Yeah. Because then it's really up in the air. What's going to happen?
Austin's never going to be a championship driver. He just doesn't have it in him. I'm sorry. I think he's a great driver. He's just not Kyle Larson.
No.
He's not William Byron. So he should have got this, whatever itch he needed to scratch for driving in NASCAR should be over now.
Yeah.
He scratched that itch. Let's get out of the car, dude. Let's put somebody in the car who can help Kyle Busch improve. You need 2 quality drivers. You got Noah Gregson right now looking for a ride. Yep. I would put him in the number 8. And then I'd move Kyle Busch to the number 3. If I was Richard Childress and Austin Dillon, 2025, Kyle Busch to the 3, Noah Gregson to the 10. No, not the 10. To the 8.
To the 8.
And Austin Dillon to the office. Make Austin Dillon your, VP of something. Make up a title. Pop's assistant president. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, but I think that's where the roles need to start going in that direction.
Yeah.
Kyle's not going to improve with a teammate who's 10 times as bad as him.
Yeah, no.
So, not to be outdone, Michael McDowell.
Oh, man.
Michael McDowell dive bombs it into the turn on the restart.
I told you he would. You remember that?
Yeah.
I said on this restart, he started on the inside.
Yep.
And I said Michael McDowell is going to dive bomb it and wreck. Who was it, Bubba?
No, he took out Blaney.
Blaney, yeah. I was like, watch, McDowell's going to overdrive it, and he's going to wreck Blaney. And then 5 seconds later, he overdrives it and wrecks Blaney.
I mean, he Talladega'd it.
He
He did
did.
the same thing at Talladega.
And that's why I called it. I said, watch, he's going to do the same thing he did at Talladega. Why? Because he's desperate.
You know, you got no shot of making it in on the points if you don't finish up front.
I know.
If you're desperate and you Michael McDowell it like that, you're not going to make it. Like,
No.
there was maybe a single-digit % chance that move worked.
No.
It's wet. It's slick. People are spinning out trying to do that move already.
Yeah.
Why does Michael think he's any better? He sent it in there. Blaney was mad, but could you imagine how mad Blaney would have been if he didn't have the win from last weekend?
Oh, my gosh. Blaney would have.
His fans would have been drowning in that bathtub they call DBC about. They might try to drown Michael in that bathtub now.
They might.
No, I thought it was ridiculous. Like, I saw it, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. Michael McDowell used to be a smart, calculated driver. And then this year.
Yeah.
Then he gets this new contract with Spire, and it's like, I don't have to deal with this team anymore after this year. Who cares if I wreck the car? Throws all caution to the wind and sells it off in there.
Yeah. Just foot on the gas, apparently.
It's becoming a trend.
It is.
Like, it doesn't even surprise me anymore.
The fact that I was able to call it like that, I was quite impressed with myself.
So you're talking about Bubba Wallace. That was not Michael McDowell, but that was Noah Gragson.
Yeah.
At this point, the paint was real slick.
Yes.
Anybody who went on that inside like Noah did got squirrely, got loose, spun out, wrecked.
Yep.
Noah Gragson goes in there on the paint, gets loose, spins out, takes out. He almost took out Denny.
That was, oh my gosh, that was so close.
Inches. And then he took out Bubba,
And
which absolutely
Bubba,
sucked.
Bubba needed a break. He needed to do good in that race.
With Joey Logano being out already, Bubba needed a good run for the playoff picture.
And he was above the cut line before he got wrecked.
He was doing what he needed to do
Yeah.
to stay above that cut line. He was capitalizing on Joey's problem until Noah wrecked. And look,
Yeah.
Noah's got to win. Noah's driving for his job, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Noah for going in there hard, but it didn't work out. It's just what Noah did is completely different than what Michael did.
Yes.
Michael McDowell had 0 chances of making it. Noah was 50-50.
Yeah. I also think it's partially Noah's inexperience, and especially the inexperience on a wet track.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I think everybody's inexperienced on a wet track for the most. Like, if you notice, the guys who ran up front,
Like Denny,
Kyle, Larson, those guys. Bell,
Larson's still.
these are dirt guys, though.
Oh, that's true.
Or they're either dirt guys or short track guys who are used to having to find different lines to save your tires.
Yeah.
Like Josh Berry. Josh Berry, Cars Tour champion. He can drive a late model.
Man, if we had tires that wore out, he'd be so good.
That's why he did good on the rain, though.
Yeah.
You had to change your lineup to find a line that was going to work best for your tires.
Yeah, Josh probably like, all right, this is my kind of driving.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, the guys who are used to saving their tires and moving around on a track to find different lines. So your short track asphalt guys and your short track dirt guys are going to run really good on these style tracks in these conditions just because of how they're used to driving a car.
Yeah.
And speaking of short track guys, Josh Berry. I really think if Brad Keselowski wouldn't have wrecked with 2 laps to go and caused a caution, Josh Berry was catching Christopher Bell.
Oh, Josh Berry was hunting him down.
And Josh Berry was going to send it. I really think he was going to dive bomb it in there.
Oh, yeah.
It was either wreck checkers or wreckers for Josh Berry.
He was doing everything it took for him to get that win, and that's a fact.
And it's not like this was a fluke. I mean, Josh Berry's been running good a lot here lately, especially these 1 mile shorter style tracks.
Yeah.
Because we know it's not a short track. Short tracks are 3/4 and smaller.
You can't be a short track and be a mile long.
No, this is an intermediate style shorter track.
Yeah.
Shorter than 1.5 miles, but
This
too
is
long
a
to be a
shorter
short track.
intermediate track.
Shorter, not short, shorter. But yeah, I mean, it's right up Josh Berry's alley.
Yep.
I think Josh and Rodney are going to find a home somewhere, whether it's at Haas factory team or with somebody else. Those two together, I mean, that's the magic sauce together, is those two guys. They're going to be successful. So Brad Keselowski, we touched on it a second ago. He spins out with a few laps to go, causes a caution.
Yeah.
Sets up for Chase Briscoe to hold Barry back so Bell can go on and get a victory.
Great teammate.
Great teammate. Yeah, I mean, Briscoe's already Joe Gibbs power.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way when you're running side by side that you're going to catch a single car who can take up as much of the track as he needs to. I mean,
oh, yeah. No.
Christopher Bell was gone.
Oh, by far. And, you know, you could say it was for position because Briscoe did end up finishing in second that race. So you could say he was just racing for second.
Yeah, but Stuart Haas could have had a win.
Well,
you know, I mean,
too bad.
Your teammate.
Too bad. He's going to Gibbs next year.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, Briscoe is just done. Like, I'm not saying Briscoe should have rolled over and let Josh Berry win the race by no means, but Josh cleared Briscoe. Briscoe should have got in behind him and made sure he pushed Josh by Bell. And then those two can wreck each other for the win.
No.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think that should have happened, but he wasn't doing that.
Great teammate.
I know.
I mean, if I'm Bell, when that race is over, I'm going to go give Briscoe a hug.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, I told you that too. When the race ended, I said, Briscoe should get a hug right now from Bell.
Yeah.
Bell should thank Briscoe right now because he took every shot Josh Berry had of dive bombing it and throwing it in there. I mean, Berry was going to throw caution to the wind. Checkers or records, 100%, and end that thing. And he's, like I said, he's going to win it or he's going to wreck it.
Yeah, and I think he had a good shot of pulling something off.
Briscoe's best shot, honestly, to win the race is to let Josh Berry go.
Yeah, and because, I mean, really, it's like 50-50.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you got a shot at winning now, Chase. Whether it's Chase Briscoe, Elliott, or Purdy. I don't know what Chase we're talking about here. But you got a shot of winning if you don't hold your guy back. Now, I know you're not thinking in the moment, like, oh, this is my teammate, I should probably let him go. You're not thinking that. But what you should be thinking, your racecraft should be developed enough by this point in your career to know that Josh is probably going to sling it in there. And if he doesn't make it, you will win the race.
Yeah.
Because he's going to wreck Bell while he slings it in there.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the condition of the track.
Yeah, it's wet. There's no way that doesn't end up as a caution.
No.
So Christopher Bell goes on after they blocked and won the race. He swept the weekend. Won the Xfinity race, which was a very eventful soiree. I mean, I never thought the Xfinity race was going to end.
That's kind of how the Cup race felt at the end.
It did. The Xfinity race felt like the Cup race at the end, except it was dry. They had no excuse. They couldn't say the track was wet. Like, it felt like a truck race is what it felt like.
Yeah.
It got embarrassing. Like, when you have 6 cautions in 50-something laps.
Right. And how many laps of those are you really racing?
That's what I'm getting at. Like, it was like we would get going.
Wreck.
4 or 5 laps, get in a groove, wreck. 4 or 5 laps, get in a groove, wreck. 2 laps, wreck. I mean, it was like.
It was bad.
I legit had to go to the bathroom. And I was like dancing circles in the bedroom going, y'all need to hurry up. Y'all need to hurry up. I ended up pausing it just so I could go to the bathroom. Like, I'm like, they're never going to finish this thing. I had stuff to do. I legit thought I was going to be sitting in front of the TV for another 17 hours trying to watch these guys finish this race. Sheldon Creed, for a lap, looked like he had it locked up, but Sheldon Creed
did Sheldon Creed things.
He tied Dale Jarrett 10th, 10 second place finishes. Way to go, buddy. 10 second place
Let's make it 11 next week. Let's go.
Let's break the record.
Maybe this whole time he's just going for that record.
Maybe.
We don't know it.
He's gonna break the record and then rattle off like 5 in a row.
Yeah, then start winning races.
Hey, you know what? I'm here for that.
Yeah, right.
That would be awesome. The new Creed record. Because I think Sheldon Creed's a good driver, but you gotta racecraft, the word I just used. That talking about Chase Briscoe. He's working on his racecraft. Sheldon Creed. You got to be in the right position at the right time on the last lap, not with 3 laps to go. The last lap, because you essentially lost that race yourself on that last lap.
Yeah.
So Christopher Bell swept the weekend. Great for him. Sheldon Creed, do better. We know you can.
Do better.
Just do better. Haley Deegan, she's our new stage caution. So
Yeah.
saw somebody on Twitter said instead of calling it stage breaks, we'll call them Deegan breaks.
Oh, poor Deegan.
It just sucks, man, because like I'm a fan of her dad. Like he was one of the best Moto X drivers in X Game.
Oh wow.
I mean, Metal Militia, like that, all that era in the X Games, like it was insane what he could do on a motorcycle. His son, I believe, is driving motocross now. I mean, the whole family is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole family. I think Haley Deegan would be great for NASCAR
if she could just get a ride.
Yeah, she's never been in good equipment. I mean, she came out and she had one race for Stuart Haas last year in the Xfinity Series, and she finished like top 15.
And that's the best she's ever finished.
But I think if she was in good equipment, she could run up front. When you run up front, you don't get wrecked by the idiots in the back.
Yeah. I mean,
right now she's running back there with the squirrels. Ask Kyle Busch how it works when you work with the squirrels. You end up wrecked.
Yeah.
Ask Austin Dillon. He's a squirrel. Ask him what happens every weekend where he runs at. You wreck.
Yep.
Like, it just happens when you're back there with the squirrels. So if she's in faster equipment and then she's still wrecking, yeah, then maybe it's her.
Yeah.
But I think she's a talented driver. She's won National Series races. I mean, she won the ARCA West Series a lot.
Yeah, she did.
So
she was really good in ARCA.
She's got some talent behind her. That's all I'm saying. And I'd like to see her do good because I think it does good for the sport. So you got anything else before we close it out?
No, I think that's it.
So thank you again to everybody. This is episode 100. Everybody who supported us since the beginning, we greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you. Never thought I'd make it to 100 episodes when we started this thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks again to Designs by Sydney for these great shirts. If you don't know, make sure you check her out. She does great work. Not just cool T-shirts for us, not just all these cool stickers, but pretty much anything you could think of. I mean, she's currently working on a Josh Allen Buffalo Bills sticker for me. So, Sydney, thank you for that as well. I mean, Jonte, I love my Bills.
He does.
So next weekend we got Nashville races at 3:30.
Should be a decent one.
Yeah, it'll be 137,000 degrees by the time the green flag drops. And you got to remember, Nashville doesn't allow you to bring water in anymore. Actually, that might have changed, but last time I heard, you couldn't bring outside water in.
Insane.
I'm thinking between 50 and 500 people would die from a heat stroke this weekend.
Well, that'll be an interesting headline to talk about.
Yeah. Race sucked, but 12 people died. Not from drivers. They died from heat. No, I mean, it's going to be hot, so if you're going – if you got tickets to go to the the Nashville race this weekend, go to the IV bar the night before, get fully hydrated, drink plenty of water, get your electrolytes in. I don't want you to be on Twitter Monday saying you missed the race because you had a heat stroke.
Yeah.
Because it's on you at that point. You know, we told you it's going to be hot. Be prepared. That's all I'm saying. If you can't do that, then it's on you. NBC. They still haven't knocked the rust off, so the broadcast and everything's probably not going to be that great, but it will be on the big network. So if you're looking for us this weekend, we won't be on the little network hidden down there. We'll be on national TV this weekend. So let's try not to embarrass yourself.
Please.
Thanks to everybody who listens, watches, shares the show each week on social media. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Carb Backwards. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out all our other videos and our shorts. Make sure you like the show, follow, and subscribe on Spotify, YouTube Music. Make sure you like us and follow us there. Oh, subscribe to the show on YouTube. I already said that.
Yep.
Man, I'm getting all kind of confused now. If you feel like it, you're more than welcome to email us. We're racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Make sure you check out Designs by Sydney. Other than that, y'all have a good week. We will see you after Nashville. Bye, everybody.